everything here. Then we have the actual flash itself, which is included in this protective case. We have our flash foot. We've got our battery. And then we have our charging pieces. So there are two ways to charge this. You can take the cradle itself and the included cable, plug directly in here and then into any USB port to charge it. If you don't want to do that, you can use the included wall adapter, go in here first and then into the cradle and just plug it directly into the wall. So two options there to charge your flash. So that's everything that's inside the box. Let's take a look at the physical features of the V860 version 3. So your included carrying case here is a little bit different than some of the other ones you might have seen. Before we had the pouch where we could put the flash foot, and it's just a little bit hidden here, so I just wanted to show you. This is kind of a belt strap where you can strap this onto your camera bag if you want, but it is Velcroed at the bottom, so we can just undo that Velcro actually. And that exposes the flash pocket there, or the foot pocket I should say, and you can slide that in there. I like to keep it in there because I'm not using it all the time and otherwise I'm going to lose that. So again, just drop it in the back and then you can easily take out your flash and we can insert the battery. So the very first thing you're going to notice about the new version 3 versus the version 2 is the battery. So this is the new battery, which is actually the same battery as the V1, so they are compatible. And this is the older version 2 battery, so you can see we've gone to a square to a rectangle. Unfortunately, they're not the same, but the capacity is increased in the new battery, and that is why it has been changed. So to install this battery, it's really easy. You'll also notice on the actual flash, it shoots kind of right through here. You can see that that's hollow, just like on the V1. And really, you just want to make sure that you line up the pins. You're going to see on the inside where the pins are there. So you don't want to try to ram it in the wrong way, and it won't actually fit that way if you do. So just line it in, slide it, it's going to lock. And then on the other side here is our release. So if you push that button, you just need to push it out the other side to release it. So that's how you install the new battery. The next new feature you're going to notice is the front. I've grabbed the version 2 here just so you can see. And on the version 3, we now have an LED light that will project out of here, which is awesome. It's going to help in low light situations, see where you're aiming, see where the shadows are falling a little bit. It's not a video light or anything, but it is very helpful when we're using the speed light. From there, you're going to notice the new lock as well. So this is very similar to Canon users. It's basically the same thing. It's a flip lever lock that you would just slide over, and there's a little release there you push in to lock and unlock that. That's a big improvement because a lot of people found this little wheel dial difficult to reach when it was installed on your camera, because the space wasn't very good, so you're trying to get your fingers in there, figure out which way you're twisting it. So a really nice improvement on this. Another new feature that's not apparent immediately is the tilt feature. So on the version 2, we could tilt forward like that, but on the back tilt, we were basically limited to vertical there. We could get around that by twisting it, but it's kind of annoying when you're walking around. You just need to do a quick tilt and bounce that off the ceiling or off a wall or something. With the new version, it's really nice, so we can go from our -7 degrees and we can bounce all the way back to 120 degrees. So that's really nice. We don't have to twist it around anymore, and you can see there just what a difference that is. So you may not use that, but for a lot of shooters, that's a very invaluable feature. Another new feature that you're going to see is this little switch here. You might initially think that's for the battery, but it's not actually. This is a quick switch to change from manual to TTL mode. So you can still do it through the menu, but this is just really quick. If you're on the fly, you don't want to go through the menu system, you need to get the shot quick, flip it to TTL, flip it to manual, and that's going to change the menu system automatically for you. Now down the side, just below that, we have our ports, and you just need to basically use your fingernail. There's kind of a weather sealing rubber there, so you just need to gently pull that out because it is attached. So It can be a little tricky to get out there if you don't have long fingernails. Okay, so pull that out, and under there we have our USB port. So that is going to be used for updating firmware. And then just below that, actually above that, we have our 2.5mm PC sync port. So if you're still using a legacy trigger, you want to connect that to your camera directly, you can still do it. But the best thing about this flash is that it is completely wireless if you pick up the optional controller, which we're going to explain in a few minutes. On the exterior of the flash, we still have our bounce card, and that is taken out. Just get your fingernail under that little lip there, pull that out, and you want to pull this out gently. We have a lot of people that just rip those in a rush because they're trying to get a shot or something. Pull it out gently and you won't have any issue. So you've got two options. If I let that go, that's going to add the wide angle diffuser there, and then leave the bounce card. If you don't want either of those, so you could slide the card in, but the only way to get it back out is to click that back in and then pull out. So I could just slide the wide angle and then just leave the bounce if I wanted to that way. One thing to mention about that is if you do use that, as soon as this is pulled out, the flash knows that, and it's going to move your zoom to wide angle at 14mm. So just be aware of that. If you're stuck on that zoom and you don't know why, flip this back in, and then you